The World Bank report said it will take 15 years for Nigerians to clean the mess of bad policies of this government. How do you want to react to that?
Well, is I don't even really wanted to react to that 15 years. The one I wanted to react to is the 100 years. World Bank said it will take Nigeria 100 years to clear itself from abject extreme poverty, because we don't even trust any government policies again. No government policy has ever worked for the past 9 years. Every government policies for the past 9 years has never worked for the citizens of this country. And if we are not talking of another 15 years before policies can start working, then 100 years to clear extreme poverty, then we are not talking of 115 years put together. That is a serious issue. That is to tell us that recovery is very, very difficult. That is what World Bank is just trying to tell us, because we don't even know the next government that will come after this one. One, we don't know the next party government that will come. Two, we don't know the next president that will come. And three, because the past is always better than the present in every Nigerian government so far. We don't know what the next government that will come will do to Nigerians.
So talking about there's a recent thing going on regionalism. He has just about to submit a document on regionalism. Would that be of help of any way?
I've said it for the uptenth time that we should go to regionalism. I am an advocate for regionalism, because when we were practicing regionalism, every region has to manage its resources and pay to the central government, which is the present day federal government. But now as it is, it's like the federal government is stealing from all the resources of the regions and giving them peanuts, 15%, 25%. In fact, at a point, the federal government was not even giving anything. The federal government was using the resources of the region, especially the south region where oil comes from, to finance the other dry regions where we don't see their resources. And then we started pleading. They started by giving south region 1%, 1%, 1.5%, 1.5%, 2%, 2%, 2.5%, 2.5%, 3%, 3%, 5%, 5%, 7%, until it was moved to 15.5%. I think that's where we are now. Then the federal government and other states will take the whole of 85%. That is stealing. If I want to use this, bring part of religion that is causing some difficulty discussion on the social media, only 10% that is being given to God by some people did not even want it. Now federal government is taking 85% and sharing among others. So tell me, how human being will be able to come down and say, let us stand, especially in Nigeria, let us stand on the way of truth
What is the culture of Tinubu's administration compared to that of Awolowo? A lot of people are saying he is breeding um, um, a non-active Yoruba youth by channeling their strength towards thuggery, and where Awolowo built on education. Is that anything you want to say about that?
You know, there was an interviewer, there was somebody that had a counter with Awolowo after the election of 1979. Shehu Shagari won the election according to their mathematical calculation. And the person asked Awolowo about Shehu Shagari. The reply of Awolowo is that, look at my car there. This car has traveled all over Nigeria, every part of Nigeria. What it meant actually was that Awolowo went all through Nigeria, local governments, states, villages, towns, and cities while he was campaigning. And so he knew virtually the problem of every state, every local government, every villages, every town, and every city. And you are now asking me about this government and that of the plan of Awo. Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would prefer to go and know the towns and villages in UK. He would prefer to go and know the towns and villages in France. He would prefer to go and know the towns and villages in China by staying 1 week there. You understand? Than going to any village within Nigeria. He doesn't want to go there. And he doesn't want to know their problem. So he does not even know the problem we are facing. He's heaping more problem to problem.
Is it a sign of incompetence or what? I don't.
A very better word. A very better word. The incompetency. The incompetency in him. Honestly, I never voted for him or his party. And I never have any plan to vote for him or his party. I say it categorically clear, without any equivocation or bias or fear of anything. Because I knew from the onset that he will not do well. And I told people that he will not do well. And people were kind of asking me, why do I say so? I say yes. Anybody that is too lenient to his cronies can never do well when you bring him to a larger government like this. You know, because he will now start bringing from his cronies. And his cronies will say, we know Oga now, we know him now, we know him now. Even if we do, he will forgive us now. We will beg him, he will forgive us. But if you go out to other parts of Nigeria and select people that you don't know, you have never met before, but you find out that they can do well, your government will succeed.
Okay, well, sir, the North, we are seeing statement coming from the North. Everybody is just tired whether regionalism is going to work, restructure is going to work or not. But the sign they are getting in the North is that the North is saying that it is time they start preparing for separation of Nigeria. Looking at what Igbo did and what UK government said that they did not acknowledge Igbo, is that an embarrassment? Or are you thinking that the North might be behind that attack by the UK government considering the fact that they not always have close relationship with the UK government, so to say, sir.
Point of correction. The UK envoy didn't say Igbo's letter was not endorsed. Igbo took his letter there, they received it and they signed a copy for Igbo to show that they received it. The only thing the envoy said is that anything concerning nations or separation within nations, you know, they have a committee within their parliament that look into it, and that in the past that committee has never endorsed anything of such, but for say the letter was not endorsed, the letter was received and endorsed. What is an endorsement? They sign for a letter. Yes. So they have signed for it, they have given a copy to Igbo. You understand? So that is how the thing is.
At this point, the North is saying they are ready for disintegration. Yes. Is it a political statement?
Whether political or real, because politics in Nigeria now, it does not count on reality. So whether political or real, most of us on this side have been ready for years ago. Awo was ready for years ago. That the North can go their separate way and let the South go their separate ways. But they were not ready. They were not ready. If they now say they are now ready, fine. You know, let them table it before the Senate. We are ready for separation. And the moment they table it, you will see other regions tabling their own to know how many fragments Nigeria will go. It's not just a matter of North and South.
Does it require UN intervention on this?
This does not require UN intervention again. If they have agreed, if North submit, then part of the South, West submit, South submit, Southeast submit, or maybe Northwest or Northeast, or North whatever submit. We know very well that yes, it is a mutual agreement for us to go our separate ways.
But the national big man there from Sokoto is saying that he is not going to leave the oil well in the east, considering the fact that he has about 23 oil wells and he's not going to leave it, even if Nigeria is going to go their separate ways. Is that always the target of the North?
Oh, so you have not known that has been their target all the while. It is your hair. It is your hair. And who is that big man? Please be very specific. So that I can know how. The hair. You know, General Sani Abacha made us to understand that the powers that the Sultan of Sokoto possesses does not supersede the powers of the federal government of Nigeria. That was why he deposed a sultan, which has never happened before in the history of Nigeria. He deposed a sultan and brought in another sultan. From that time on, he made us to understand that the powers of the sultan does not supersede the powers of the federal government and even the state government. So if he said that, maybe he has purchased oil well in the southeast or part of the south, then condition will be given to him on how he will service the oil well to those states that the wells are if we go our separate way. but he can never impose himself. No, it will not be accepted.
Okay, finally now, let us come to political parties. PDP, Labour Party, and other parties are planning a collabo. You know, they're trying to see how they can come up with a force. There's no region that is happy with Tinubu's administration, but Tinubu is saying, I know what to do. I can still buy my way ahead of 2027. So finally, what is your thought on that?
Tinubu saying that he can still buy his way in 2027. We want to wait until when we get to that bridge, we'll know how we'll cross it. That is one. Secondly, PDP, Labour Party, APC, APP, PCC, or whatever, they are all made of the same people, the same party people. Because especially PDP, one will leave PDP to APC, one will leave APC to PDP. And that is what they have been doing, playing on the intelligence of Nigeria. Even in Labour Party, you still have PDP and APC there.
And the judiciary is not also helping matters.
You understand? We will come to the judiciary. You know? So, whether PDP or APC or Labour Party, what we are looking at, what we are focusing on, is an individual who has been faithful in all his ways in governance, that we cannot trust and say, okay, if he was so faithful, let's give him chance to prove himself when it comes to the federal government, which is the central government. So that is what we are looking at. We want to transcend beyond party level.